there, welcome to Tipsy Tuesday. This is the third video that I am doing for everybody about vocal tips, and this time I am not cheersing with a glass of wine, but I am saying cheers to a beautiful windy day. I hope that it doesn't muffle my sound too much. I chose to come next to a big tree to try to get a little bit of the wind sound unmuffled, and I'm just going for a beautiful long walk right now. I've been thinking about you guys and thinking about the next things I wanted to talk to you about for, just advancement in your voice from where I started. That first video that I shared with you was about initiating your voice, and I was explaining how when you just find out where your, groggy resting voice is and where it is with your larynx sitting in a neutral position, that was a place to start from. That can also be called the middle of your voice, and also where your range is most comfortable. So today I'm tipping you on range, and so I wanted to talk to you about that. I also wanted to bring up the second Tuesday that I had done with you, where I had shared about how you can work on different types of exercises using speaking and singing back and forth so that you're not manufacturing your singing voice. And the primary purpose of me wanting to share that with you was not to insult style, because people can do stylish sounds and make any kind of sound they want to, but if you're saying a word, for example, like boomerang, you're not going to say bang-a-rung. It's not the word is boomerang. And so it's just basically, when I said that sound doesn't exist, it's just because what this song, pronunciation is. So anyway, so that's where that came from. Today I want to talk to you about range, and about when I was talking about keeping your larynx neutral, what's really good about building your range is to be able to start from the middle of your voice. And so the first two tips I gave you are really good introduction to number 3. Okay, so now I'm going to make this one a little shorter and sweet. I hope it's sweet. It's oh my gosh, it is sweet out here right now. Even the wind has died down a little bit for me. Woohoo! There's just blowing so hard. I hope it didn't muffle out the sound so much. There's a mosquito right there. Mosquitoes. No. So anyway, but yeah, the wind is dying down a little bit. The sun is coming out a little bit brighter, and I'm just loving that. So vocal tip for expanding your range. You've maybe heard of different types of exercises that strengthen, stretch the voice, and one of the most basic ones is a fire engine or siren sound, and so that's the one I want to talk to you about and why it works to help strengthen your range. So very simply, a sound is E, and you're going higher and lower in that siren sound. When you're doing that and you start building higher and higher and higher, and building lower and lower and lower with your E, and you can reach really high, you can reach really low, and that was a big drop there. It's usually just a little more graceful than that. But what you're doing is you're stretching. You're actually giving your vocal cords, your muscles, a workout. And so what happens to a lot of people is they think that they can't make their range expand. They tell themselves that they're singing as far as they can sing. They think, oh, I've capped my range. Or they just absolutely tell themselves in fear that that's too high or that's too low. And so what that exercise does is stretch you to be able to reach as high as you can within what your muscles will allow, and you can continue to build on that each time you do that exercise. So you can get lower and more comfortable singing lower. You can get higher, more comfortable singing higher. So now the comfort part is back to this part about the neutral larynx, just sitting comfortably. So when you're doing the exercise, what you can do to drop the larynx during the exercise to remind yourself where you're comfortable is a yawn. So it's just a yawning motion, like you're actually yawning. And your larynx drops. Let's see if you can see this here. You see my larynx dropping when I did the yawn? Well, the same thing happens when you are doing the yawn as a break in your range building. So if I'm going up and I'm going and I just feel a little bit of tension to get to a higher point, that tension is usually where you say, oh, I can't sing high anymore. That's as high as I can go. Then it gets uncomfortable. Well, let's challenge that comfort place by the yawn. So you're doing ee, larynx is rising, ee, feeling a little bit tense. Give yourself a little yawn, and then it comes down to neutral and start from that high spot again. Ee, very comfortable. And so you do that, you break the high sound. Oh my gosh, this wind, I hope it's not too muffly. You break the high sound with it, picked up again, and the sun went hiding again. Oh well. And then another way to do the exercise where it's less tension on the voice to build and bring down, and I usually do the yawn when I'm going up, and you can do this either way. It's also when you're going down, the yawn, it starts to feel a little bit tense, pushed, low, give yourself a yawn to bring it back to neutral, and it feels more comfortable, it even sounds more comfortable. And you'll notice that when you practice that. So then the other sound, the second exercise for helping to neutralize your larynx to help build your range in a comfortable place is the sound NG, like the end of the word song. So you're saying song, you get the NG sound. And then that's something you can use while you're doing this siren exercise, stretching exercise, building your range as well. So you're doing E, right? Or NG. So you're basically using that is lifting the tongue off of the back of the throat a little bit. So if you're saying NG, your tongue isn't sitting heavy to cause any more or add to the tension. And it's a good way to just keep the pressure off while you're building your range. So, so the yawn and the NG are two things that you can use while you're using the siren sound to strengthen your range, which you can do. And so I wanted to just share that with you today. Bugs! Oh, well, there's not that many of them, thank God. All right, and so again, cheers to you, cheers to a beautiful day, cheers just by being cheerful about the beautiful life that we live and that we get to be here breathing, speaking, and singing. All the best to your singing. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye for now.